What's going on, guys? It's Tim with the Gutter Growth Podcast. I got Robert Eisenstadt. I said it right?
Yeah, you did.
Good deal, man. So, Robert's going to be speaking at the summit. We're super excited to have him there. On today's live, we're going to be giving away one free basic admission Gutter Summit ticket. So for a chance to win that, go ahead and drop the words comment or grow in the comments, GROW. And Robert, for those who don't know you, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah. So my name is Robert Eisenstadt. I live in Las Vegas, Nevada. I moved here from Chicago in 2001. And in 2014, I worked as a service advisor for a car dealership. And my father had passed away while I was at work. And I left, obviously, went home, found my dad. And after that, I tried to take some time off to handle his funeral, his estate, and all that stuff. I mean, I was only 21 years old. And they told me I couldn't take the time off that I needed to handle all of that stuff. So I did what I think anybody else would do, was tell him to kick rocks, right?
Yeah.
And I made a promise to myself that I would never let anybody control me or my time or my destiny ever again. Like, I needed to be in control of my own life, right? And so I started a business. I actually started as a carpet cleaning business. Then it went into pressure washing, and then it grew into construction. And I didn't really know how to run that big of a business. I mean, the construction part of my business blew up crazy fast. I had like 15 trucks on the road. It was nuts.
Wow.
And I was losing 20 grand a month, and I had no idea. And so we ended up scaling way back to pressure washing, and I started to focus a lot of my focus went to relationships, and it's grown exponentially over the past 3 years. And so that's kind of what I'm going to be going over in the Gutter Summit is how relationships can really help you change your life.
Yeah, no, I'm super excited to have you there. I know a little bit about your background on what you're going to be teaching, but can you give a little sneak peek about it?
Yeah. So, well, are you talking as far as like a slideshow, or you want me to just go over some?
No slideshow, just a little bit, just like a little sneak peek of what you're going to be teaching about. I don't want to give it all away, but
Yeah. So one of the big things a lot of us tend to do is we spend a lot of time on social media, right? And so I started to try and understand where my ideal clientele was. And LinkedIn, I had heard of it. I had a profile for years, but I had never really used the platform. And so I started to really research the platform and try and understand how to use it. And I mean, I was crazy. I was spending like 5 or 6 hours a day on this, trying to understand how to use the platform. And once I started to figure it out, I realized that everybody that I wanted to do business with, right, in the commercial service business world, was utilizing that platform. And so there's a lot of tips and tricks on how to utilize that platform to grow relationships, to get business, and just to really put yourself out there. And it's connecting with the right people, right? So it's like we spend so much time on social media scrolling, wasting our time. And, you're posting on Instagram and Facebook and trying to generate these leads. And if you're in, a residential market, that kind of makes sense, right? Like most homeowners are sitting there, scrolling social media, Facebook, whatever it might be. But a lot of these, big commercial property managers or C-suite executives, people that are, running 200, 400 facilities, maybe gas stations, grocery stores, whatever it might be. A lot of those people are using LinkedIn a lot more than, your standard social media, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. And so what I'm going to be going over and breaking down is literally step-by-step actionable items of how to approach building your profile, how to connect with the right people, how to find the right people, how to reach out to them, all of that kind of stuff, and then everything in between.
Yeah, no, a lot of the gutter guys don't realize how much value there is in the commercial end of things. Like, especially like a commercial building, they'll take off, box gutter and they'll replace it with their seamless gutter. But if they stayed commercial and went back and, put up what the customer had. Instead of selling it for $10, $15 a foot, now you have a job that they're going to pay, $50 to $100 a foot. And so and they're used to paying that. That like commercial, everything commercial is like 10 times the price.
Right. Well, and the other thing is typically the owners of these, commercial properties, depending on, who you're talking about, I guess, because there's different avenues you can go down, right? Like the commercial property management, maybe your like retail shopping centers. They have a thing, what's called a CAM, which is common area maintenance fee. And so the tenants that are leasing those properties are actually paying for that maintenance and repair. And so the owner of that property isn't even paying it. And so they really don't care, right? Like it's getting fed into a budget for all this maintenance and repair. And so the money's there and they have to spend it. So it's like, why wouldn't they spend it with you, right?
Yeah, no doubt. So no, that's interesting. So you kind of found your way to kind of get a hold of that client.
Yeah, I mean, my whole thing is like, commercial property has to be maintained, right? Like there's certain parameters that they have to fall in. And no matter what service business you're in, as long as you're in some kind of building maintenance, right? And it's like these residential properties, they sometimes could care less, in my opinion. Like they can go the extra month without getting their gutters repaired or their windows cleaned or really any of that stuff, right? Pressure washing, landscape maintenance. Like, I mean, I don't know about where you live, but out here, I mean, I see landscape trashed in a lot of neighborhoods, right?
Oh yeah.
When you drive through commercial properties, they're always upkept at like the highest degree. There's always landscapers there, right? And that's just an example. But the thing is like they have to get these things done, especially if they want to lease out their properties. So why wouldn't you go after the people that are guaranteed to spend the money in your business, no matter what?
For it.
Right. Like the money is already allocated in a separate account to spend money with you. Why wouldn't you go after that?
Yep. It's great for getting like apartment complex clean outs and, big properties where they're going to do that 2 times a year, no matter what.
Yeah. And like, even where I live, we don't really clean gutters ever. Right. And, but I mean, I went and bid like 200 and something townhouses for gutter cleaning, which is like kind of strange in my area because we're in such a dry climate, right? But again, it's an HOA, which is another part of that commercial family, right? Like there's HOAs, there's C-stores or facilities, and then there's property management. But that HOA, they have HOA fees, and they have to have some kind of parameters that they have to stay within. And if it's not functioning properly or aesthetically pleasing, or if it can cause any kind of damage, then they have to upkeep that, right? So HOAs is a great target to try and go after. And there's different associations that you can join, which, I mean, we're a part of so many associations. That's another thing that I'll go over is all the different associations that you can join and what that looks like as well.
Yep. No, that'd be huge. Are you doing mostly commercial with your business now?
Yes. So I should have, I guess, expressed that a little bit. I apologize. So right now I own a commercial pressure washing business. I just exited an air conditioning and heating company, but our pressure washing business is 100% commercial.
Oh, wow. So you won't even deal with residential at all? We
will. Like if somebody calls me, typically, somebody might call me for a driveway or something and we'll get it done for them. But typically, if it's any kind of residential work, it's usually for the HOA, the homeowners association, right? But I mean, we do a lot every single month, a lot of properties every single month. And everything is commercial. Everything is recurring because that's that kind of business model that I want, right? Is like that recurring or that subscription-based business model where, our guys are able to show up to work every single day and always have work for, months or years or whatever that might look like.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Yeah, I'm always telling the gutter guys, you need to sell them maintenance packages. I mean, don't just sell them the gutters once, give them a maintenance package. But no, like this seems like it'd be a lot easier to get repeat business with this type of model going after commercial clients.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna, especially if you're gonna be selling maintenance packages, right? And like that's another thing that we're gonna be going over is budget season. A lot of people, to my surprise, to be honest with you, didn't even know like what budget season was. And for all these retail shopping centers and commercial property management companies, it's called budget season, and pretty much June, July to October, November, they're going through this season called budget season, which is absolutely crazy and hectic and wild for them. But they're sending out all of their RFPs, request for proposal, to every single one of their vendors for all of their properties. So, you could be getting 5, 6 to 10 RFPs a day.
What is budget season? What months is it? Is it certain months?
So some management companies start at different times. But typically what we've seen is like June to, it goes as far as to December. But if you're still bidding properties in December, it's like last minute stuff.
Yep.
So it's like the second half of the year, to be honest with you.
Yeah, they're getting everything ready for the next year, right?
Yeah. So, we started bidding properties in June, and we've had obviously RFPs and properties that we've been bidding every single month since.
What's a typical turnaround time are you getting on, like when you close a job? Is it like 6 months out?
So it varies, especially in the commercial world, right? Like and that's the difference. It's a completely different business model from residential to commercial, because when you go to a residential property, you're going to, buy your materials, you're going to provide your service, and you're going to get paid when you leave. A lot of commercial properties, you're typically net 30, sometimes 45, 60, 90. So you're floating your business and your payroll, and it can get a little bit stressful, but once you get the ball rolling and you're in that groove, it's okay. As far as landing a job, I've had my largest account now. It took me over a year from them like accepting us as a vendor and saying, okay, you're going to start doing work. It took me over a year to get my first job.
Yeah.
So it does take time, but again, it's about building the relationships, right? Like, do you have a friend that owns I don't want to give too much away. I can't give too much away. You got to show up.
It's like there's so many times, Robert, that we're going into like December, January, and it's going to be slow season, and there goes that commercial job that I bid 6 months to a year ago. All of a sudden comes through and like save me.
Oh, yeah.
You got 4 crews to feed, or a bunch of guys, and it's slow season. You're starting to sweat it. Like if you have these commercial bids constantly going out, they're gonna pop through and save your ass. A time or two. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, the sales process is everything, right? Like my wife always says, "Hey, the money's in the follow up. The money's in the follow up," and so she's like super good at that. And obviously I'm pretty good at it now. But with these commercial properties and clients, the money really is in the follow-up. They're so busy dealing with all these other things. And if you start getting slow, go back and look through your old bids and say, okay, what did I bid out? What never got accepted? And just call and say, hey, we provided a proposal for you back in April. We wanted to touch base. We had an opening in our schedule. Would you like to get that done?
For those that just got on, we're giving away a ticket on the show. I'll give it away sometime tomorrow, but if you go ahead and type the word "grow" in there, that's how you can get into the drawing.
Can I type the word "grow"?
Yeah, man.
Hold on. Let me see if it won't let me. I was gonna say, let me try and get a free ticket. But yeah, I'm super excited to show up to the Gutter Summit, man, and meet a lot of the people that are watching this or will watch it later. Is this being recorded or no?
Yeah, we're live right now.
Okay. I think there's a lot of opportunity for any kind of service business in the commercial world, and I think people just have a hard time navigating how to step into it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But it's like, think about for the people watching, think about before you started your business, right? And it's like, I'm sure at that point you were kind of confused or didn't really know how to start a business. Like you didn't understand. And it's really just simply starting and just trying, trial and error.
Yeah.
But hopefully I can show up and help you guys fast.
Upset time, huh?
Yeah, fast track some of that trial and error that I learned over the past 10 years.
Yeah, no, man, it's great. It definitely should be a part of everyone's strategy. You want to go after the commercial work. I mean, if it's an install job, there's going to be more profit there. They're also huge on maintenance, so you could bring in some reoccurring revenue. So it's going to be great to have you come there and kind of teach the secret sauce. But yeah, man, I'm excited to have you there. We appreciate you coming on. Is there one like gold nugget you want to give away before we go? Anything that sticks out?
Start building relationships. I mean, dude, seriously, like,
Sure.
That's it, man. Like, all right, I'm going to drop one thing, and I'm going to say it in my presentation again, but maybe somebody watching can't make it or something. And it's actually me answering a question by asking you a question, Tim. Do you have another friend that owns a business?
Yes.
Okay. Like in your area, like near your house? Okay. What kind of business is it?
Pressure cleaning.
Okay. So if you needed pressure cleaning done at your house, who would you call?
My buddy.
Okay. Why?
I know him, trust him.
Right. Would you call anybody else though?
Probably not.
Okay. So here's the thing is, one, we're human. We all make mistakes, right? And it's like you have this guy that you know, that you like, that you trust. And if he messes up, which could very well possibly happen, but you know that he'll make it right, right? And it's like you wouldn't even think about calling anybody else, right? Like, why would you? That's your friend, all of those reasons. So my goal inside of my business is to never try and sell my services to anybody. It's to try and make it impossible for them to not use us when they need our services. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So I have completely focused everything on being a good person and building a great relationship with these people. I genuinely care about them and their families, and I show up for them if they need me, when they need me, whatever it might be. And it's just come full circle. So
people could sense that type of thing.
Yeah, make friends. I mean, like I don't call them my clients. I call them my friends.
Yeah, you're building relationships.
So, I mean, that's it, man.
Yep. No, I agree, man. The gold's in the relationships. So, good deal, man. I'm looking forward to it. Again, guys, drop the word grow, and appreciate you coming on here today, man. Super excited to have you.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me. I'm looking forward to meeting a lot of you guys in Atlanta.
See you guys there.
All right. Awesome.